Hello, and welcome to GTAAP.
GTAAP!
I'm Mac.
I'm Kaz, and we're doing some Cheval Nights.
Here for Switchmas.
Switchmas.
A holiday that doesn't care what religion you are. Everyone is welcome.
no, it's Claire's original here. You have to be a Nintendo.
Well, it's not, I guess cult's kind of a church.
Ooh, before we begin, would you like to swap out the characters? Nah, don't worry about it.
But the actual real answer is, of course, if you are a cult of Nintendo, then you already played this on the Wii U.
Yeah.
Because you owned one.
Yeah, I did. And I played all the way through it. I loved it.
One of the 12 million strong who actually owned a Wii U. This is expected to have about 14 million people owning them by April. So within the first year, it will crush the entire lifespan of the Wii U.
Which is funny and sad at the same time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So have you actually even started this game?
Oh, actually, I've started it twice.
Okay.
I got, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 levels, 6 or 7, like, map squares on the 3DS when it came out there first.
Okay, with 3DS, I can see that.
I banged my head against it a lot more. I thought, oh, you know what? It's been a long time. Maybe I could be better, and I'll get it on the Switch, because it's got all these extra modes, and that'd be cool. And then I forgot how... Well, our last Switchmas game was Mummy Demastered, and I was mentioning how sometimes games are too hard for their own good.
Yeah. I didn't think... Well, I mean, this game's tough, but I don't think it's too hard for its own good.
This game is very fair, but it again, games should have difficulty levels. I'm not as good as games as when I was a kid, and I wasn't great then.
I think there's something to be said for that, because there's, you know, the throwbacks to the old, like, even like the original Mega Mans and things like that, how hard they actually were.
Well, I love the NES-ness of this. It's very good, and it calls from a lot of games, but one of my primary ones I enjoy that it recalls is Castlevania 2.
Yeah.
Which is a weird thing to call back to, but they totally do. And then there's a decent chunk of Mega Man. And then DuckTales, because you got the Pogo.
Yeah, the Pogo, yep.
Great music, great visuals.
Yeah, this has fantastic music to it. This is what I got George for Christmas last year. I got him a vinyl.
Yeah, if you check out the GTAAP Live playlist, you can go and find our unboxing.
Of that one, yep.
With special guest star, Halbert's Own. That was fun. Yeah. And that was a really good that was a really good gift too. It's a nice vinyl print.
Yeah, I'm known for the good gifts, you know.
Yeah, for a guy who doesn't generally have, like, any religion whatsoever, you surprisingly honor Christmas.
Yeah, well...
Better than most of the Christians I know.
It's not even that, it's just, you know, like... Christmas,
it's your thing.
It's that one time of year you can kind of just, you know, go out and give people stuff, and...
Be a good human.
They don't look at you like you're, you know, wanting something out of them.
And you've worked in retail long enough to just despise Christmas, and still somehow you're a good guy about it. I think one of the reasons I found the game so hard is because it references a lot of games I was never great at.
Okay.
Like, I'm okay at Mega Man. I say okay because I'm pretty good at level traversal, but I've never been great at boss battles. Mm-hmm. So that's usually what hangs me up in Mega Man.
Yeah.
And DuckTales is a classic, but I'm terrible at it.
You know, I'm
terrible.
You know, what's funny is, like, I remember playing DuckTales when I was a kid, but, like, I didn't really understand... Because it is a weird, like, it's a weird game in the sense of the way it's... It's a weird game. Yeah. So, like, I never really truly understood how to play it, necessarily. Like, it's one of those games I wouldn't mind going back and trying now.
It's one of the reasons I like the HD remake they had a little while ago. Because not only does it add a little bit more, because there's the voice acting and the opening level and some other stuff to teach you the game better, it also just kind of communicates things.
Well, you also love the fact, too, that DuckTales is now awesome. On TV.
Oh yeah, no. Probably one of the primary big shows of my real young youth is now back in a huge way. Because I loved that show. I remember it was like the first lunchbox I had when I went to like 2nd grade.
Oh, really?
I remember just really thinking it was cool, and then as I grew up, I realized it's all based on these great pulps and comic books and stuff that I also really dig. And yeah, in what was it, August, September? Somewhere around there, they started they started up the new show on Disney XD, and it's really good. It's a really delightful show, and it does a lot with that premise and kind of making it fresh, like making the nephews individual characters, making Webby interesting, making everybody feel modern and interesting. And I heard there's a podcast I listen to with Kristen Tisda, who is a huge DuckTales fan, like big advocate of it. And one thing he said that I think is really wise is how kind of impressive it is that with DuckTales you have Scrooge McDuck, a character that your grandfather, father, and you could all like. Yeah. He's been around in an extraordinarily successful comic book series since the 30s.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's kind of amazing that there's a character that stood the test of time, who is, by all face values, a character you shouldn't like. He's this greedy, but adventurous, cantankerous old duck. Oh gosh, you're so much better at this game than I am. These bubble jumps ticked me off. I also like the mechanics of, it really rewards greed.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, if you're skillful, you basically never use the checkpoints because you don't want to pay for them.
Yeah.
You take more gold home with you.
Yeah, I'm not that good.
No, but I mean, you just like, I think that's a good push and pull mechanic. Did you play the, so this is the Treasure Trove, which is a combination of the first DLC, which was when you could play,
Plague Knight.
No, Plague Knight's the one that came with this, wasn't it?
No. Well, no, Spectre Knight came with this.
Oh, Spectre Knight.
Then,
Plague Knight, okay.
And then they also added, now you can play as...
Shield Knight?
No, King Knight.
King Knight.
Yes.
And you can also play this in co-op if you buy the most hard-to-get DLC of all time, the Shovel Knight Amiibo.
Oh, I have that, actually, if we ever want to do that.
Yeah. By the way, as we go through Switchmas, we're just sort of doing, again, a preview, a sort of overview of some of the great I mean, talk about a hell of a year for a system.
Yeah, absolutely.
There will never probably ever be a console that has as good of a first run as this. It's been so good. But we're just kind of wading in because, I don't know. I would have said, like, Nintendo could never have a year like this again, but they're setting up 2018 pretty well.
We'll see.
I don't know how they can keep all this going, but the other thing is the third parties are starting to get involved too. We're starting to see, like, Capcom announced the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection and all the Mega Man games that are coming to it. Mega Man 11's coming to it. Like, it's just been an amazing year. And yeah, so we're just sort of previewing this. But if you guys like any of these, let us know in the comments or talk to us on the Twitter, and maybe we can come back to these things. As you've seen, we've picked a lot of punishing games, so I know people love Misery, so you probably want us to play these super hard games and hurt ourselves. Just remember, when you think about that, just go watch our long haul of Metroid Zero Mission and remember how flippin' long that took.
Well, and just remember, if you want to see somebody play it and be really hard and see it be really funny, request Mac to play it.
For those who like punishment. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking for the channel that something that might be fun is to pull one of those Dark Souls or Bloodborne games out and just watch me just brutally hate it as I'm trying to play it poorly.
I would still like to get a group of us together to do like a Monster Hunter would be fun.
I hear Monster Hunter is the Dark Souls of Monster Hunter.
Unfortunately, they aren't putting out a Monster Hunter for the Switch as of yet, which I was hoping
that'll change.
I was hoping Worlds would come over as part of it, and I think that
Worlds doesn't surprise me because of how technical it is.
Yeah,
right, World's the new one, right?
Yeah, World's the new one, but I think it can handle it.
Maybe. I feel that would take effort, and up until then I would just say Capcom wasn't going to do that, but Capcom seems really hot on the Switch now. It went from like zero support to really robust support, so...
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say the world of Shovel Knight, where everyone's a knight, I think is pretty awesome, and may have the best villain cadre group name ever.
Oh, absolutely.
The Knights of No Quarter.
Well, we had once... Well, I had...
The Order of No Quarter.
The Order of No Quarter, yeah. I had once pitched it out to you guys to possibly do a whole group cosplay.
Oh, as Knights, yeah.
Knights, which would be fun.
I think some of us got too brutalized by the game to think of that clear-headedly. Also, this is smart. I like he doesn't give a speech again.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Because you already heard it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it knew you were going to lose. love that 8-bit castle back there. So ridiculous. It's got a nice like Dracula tower off of it. Yeah, this is where I died a lot. Again, I've just never been good with bosses. I don't know what that. I don't know what that tick is.
This is a tough boss. I mean,
well, I think the biggest thing with bosses is it's hard for me to still my brain to watch for the pattern. I will just react, and that's exactly how you die on boss battles.
Alright, we'll get him this time.
Yeah, we'll knock him down, and then we'll call it.
Yeah.
Actually, whichever way it goes, we'll call it after this.
It doesn't help too that like you only have the four health. Once you get a little further in, you get a little bit more health in you. You can kind of stand up to some of the other knights a lot easier.
Yeah, and the asynchronous nature of this is like you can not really grind, but you can kind of level up in a way to get around some of it. So if you have a bad boss, there's usually another level you can go and play around with before you have to face that boss again. So close.
Ah! All right.
Well, that's actually a microcosm of Shovel Knight. So, for GTAAP, I'm Mac.
I'm Kaz.
And, God, I love the NES.
Okay, I got him.
Just going with the beat. Can you time is the beat? Time it. Oh, man, that show would make a great guitar.
So one of the things you could do eventually with the amiibo, you can switch his colors and you have him puke rainbows.
That's great.
That's awesome.
What do you have to eat to puke rainbows?
Assume just the marshmallows from Lucky Charms.
I was thinking orange sherbet. Or like the rainbow kind.
So rainbow sherbet?
That too.
Yeah.